Good evening, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a good Friday, ready for the weekend. Welcome to the Friday night community event for the North America Raceroom Discord community. This is the North America Raceroom YouTube channel. We have a pretty good combination tonight. It looks fun. I have actually never driven this car or this track, so good thing I'm not out there. But this evening, it's going to be the Lotus GT4 around Bilster Berg. So, I don't know too much about the track. I do know, as you can see here, there are a lot of turns. The full track has 18 turns. I should know, but I don't, what version they're running here this evening. But hopefully it's action-packed. Hopefully it's tight racing, close racing. And really just hoping for fun. That's what these Friday night events are for. These are unranked. And it's really just for folks to get out there, have some fun, get some extra practice in, with the game itself, or with the car, with the track, really for anything. So, similar to how we did on Wednesday night, I have just some extra information that I'm going to show here about the track, about the car. I do not have an information lap this evening. I didn't have the opportunity to do one, but if we look here, we're going to have the track guide, bird's eye view, top down of Bilster Berg itself. As I said, the full track has actually 19 turns. It's a very windy track, very long track. What's it say there? 4 meters. It's German. I don't know German. I'm not even gonna pretend to know German. So we'll see how they do. A lot of folks, I believe, have not driven this track, or maybe even this car. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everyone does. Really just hoping for everyone to finish, everyone to have fun. So with the track there, I also have kind of the basic information from Raceroom of the Lotus GT4. And as you can just see here, straight from the webpage, the version in Raceroom has what, 355 brake horsepower. Its weight's about 1,300 kilograms. It's a V6 engine. It's a rear-wheel drive. I personally, like I said, have not driven this GT4, so I don't know too much about it. I don't know if it can get a little crazy if you hit the throttle and you kind of lose it. We'll find out here within these two 20-minute races how people handle it and how it goes. So, should be good stuff. So with those out of the way, let's get back into practice. There's about 15 minutes left of practice. So it's the perfect time really to jump in. Folks are learning the track, maybe learning the car even, learning both of them at the same time. Who knows? Looks like right now we have about 10 folks in the server. That's a decent outcome of folks. We might have some more jump in. The main difference with our Friday night races compared to any of the ranked races is that people have the entirety of practice and qualifying to join. So they have all the way until 1 second left of qualifying to get into the server. So there's plenty of time here for some extra folks to jump in if we can try to get some. So I won't talk, I guess, a whole lot here during practice. I'll kind of just let these guys do their thing. The software's on auto director, so it's gonna kind of jump around to the various folks that are in there. Let's see what Rangy's running a 105.3. There are some folks kind of close to him, and then there are some folks that are not close. So it's gonna be interesting to see. how everyone can kind of handle 20 minutes. So the structure for the evening is after practice, after qualifying, there is a 5-minute warm-up where if you've been a part of or if you've watched, the warm-ups usually turn into insanity and really turn into a free-for-all. It's a time to really get out any tension or any craziness that you want to get out before a 20-minute race. And then after that 5-minute warm-up, we have a 20-minute race. After that 20-minute race, we have another 5-minute warm-up. Another time for folks to go crazy. For the second race is another 20-minute race, but it is a reversed top 10 grid. So places 1 through 10 of the first race will be flipped. P10 will start at P1 and vice versa. So that really makes the second race kind of interesting from the standpoint of someone who, depending on how many we have, could be mid-pack in the first race, could be at the very end of the first race, and yet now they're flipped to the front. So we kind of see how some people react to starting on the quote-unquote pole and kind of leading the race from the start to see what happens. So, and then you also have folks that, if you finish P1, you're starting at P10, now you're fighting your way through, 9 other people to try to get to P1. So turns into some good stuff. There's some interesting battles and some interesting tactics that come into play for race number 2. So, yeah, it looks like now still about 10 folks. Most of these folks in here right now are regulars to either the North America Raceroom Discord or at least to the Friday night races. So we shouldn't see really any bad driving or any bad habits or anything of the like. So it should be pretty fun. While we're here, though, I will say, make sure to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you come across this later, a rewatch or a replay, once again, like, subscribe. Find us out there on the Discord, North America Raceroom community. We have races on Friday nights like you're seeing here. We have usually an hour-long race that's ranked on Saturday nights. There is sometimes races on Sundays, which is more for the race room term of rookie. So those are anyone who's either new to the game or that's under 75 reputation. Those races are usually 15 minutes long. If we have enough interest, we sometimes do 2 of those back to back on the official race room servers. On Monday, we sometimes have another long ranked race, or if we don't have that, then we're usually in the middle of our community championship. As you saw from the beginning of the stream, season 2 is coming up here, June 21st, here in a few weeks. This season is going to be the DTM 95 class over 8 weeks, 8 different tracks, 8 different locations. Those cars are a blast to drive. So it should be a lot of fun. There's less than 10 spots available for that. I do know that, probably 5 or 6 left. So if you haven't looked yet, you can find that information in the Discord. Get on the Race app website. Get signed up for that. Get signed up for the championship, and that'll happen every Monday night for 8 weeks, starting on the 21st. After Monday, there's always that Wednesday weekly ranked event, which is usually a quote-unquote endurance race, usually an hour and a half or longer. If you're watching this now, the schedule's already out, so next week is 2.4 hours on the big boy, the Nordschleife with GT3 cars, if I'm remembering correctly. For us here in the North America, South America region, it's been bumped up an hour, so it's now 7:30 p.m. Eastern instead of 8:30 p.m. because that'd be a very long night. It's going to be a long night anyway, so look out for that coming up here on Wednesday. So if you get into the community, there's a lot of stuff going on for all levels of participation, all levels of skill. I mean, there's things for everyone to do, and it's a good place to race with other folks that are good racers. You know, just about all of us have a good awareness, good racecraft, good behavior while we're out there. You know, it's not beating and banging on each other. It's actually, racing smart, racing clean for what we do. So that's kind of my spiel for everything there. But now just kind of going back to the practice here. Theolupu, you're seeing here. Looks like he's putting in green sectors for right now. I think it jumps off of him. Let's go back to him. Let's see how he ends up. This might be, yes, this is the start-finish line stretch, and he has put in a 107.5. So about 2 seconds off the pace of Rangy. See who else it comes to. We have Dan here, who looks like he's just getting started on his lap. Still 10 folks in the server, so we're looking good. I'm trying to see who hasn't put in a time yet that's in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Dan. So Dan has yet to put in a time. We'll move it to the helicopter cam. Follow some folks like that, we might be able to see track a little bit better, or at least what they're kind of dealing with from the helicopter camera. Leave it there for a little bit as it jumps around to some of the folks. So it looks like Dan is about 1 second off the pace in Sector 1. About 2.5 seconds off the pace in Sector 2. Finishing up the third sector here. See if it sticks with him the entire way. It will. So there's the start-finish line. So Dan's going to come in at, is it 108. .9. That's good for ninth. Sketty. At least that's how I say it. Sketty. He's joined us this evening. It's good to see. Looks like he's probably on his first out lap, so that one will not count. So he'll be coming back around to put in a time lap here shortly. Actually, let's see if the I've lost my overlay. I've lost my logo. Let's throw up the event info. That way you can see what we have here. Bilster Berg. Oh man, the overlay's doing everything. Let me change over fast. There we can see Mr. Scott Galbraith has made it. Still driving for Randy's Recycled Race Parts. That's good to see. So I'm sure he's in his VR, getting it all going. Wait a minute. All right, so practice has finished. We now have 15 minutes of qualifying. And I'll say again that folks still have the opportunity to get in while in qualifying. So right now we're sitting at 12 folks. We might get some more by the end of this. first person out on the track for qualifying is a Dom Bessel. And 18 seconds in the first sector, 46 seconds for the second sector. Losing the back there just a little bit. Coming through. I believe that's the last turn before the start-finish line it is. So we're going to see what time he's putting in here. Maybe about a 106.1. So that is the time that everyone's shooting for at the moment. Theolupu coming down the front stretch there is going to end up about 2/10 off the pole position time. And then everyone's kind of flowing through here now. There's Rangy Rover coming through the last turn. We're going to see where he ends up. He was the top time in practice, and he's going to be the top time in qualifying with Luke Filippone right behind, 3/10 behind his time. So two folks there in the 105s jumping to Theolupu there, losing the back a little bit, going in, using the front of his car against the wall. And let's jump to some other folks that have yet to throw in a time. Michael Oben, about 19 seconds in Sector 1. Right now sitting in Sector 2 there. So we'll wait for him to come around. Keith Hurst is coming to the finish line. Is going to be 5th place, about 1.5 seconds off of first. Let's see if we can find this track. I'm unfamiliar with, so it's hard to figure out where folks actually are and what they're coming up to. Amato, they're in Sector 2. He's got a little bit to go before the end. There's a whole train of cars here. That would be Luke Filippone and Rangy Rover behind Sketty here. And I don't know if they want to stay behind him to get a little bit of extra tow or not, but it looks like they're all going to be coming into the 3rd sector here very shortly. So we'll stay with this, only because it looks a little crazy. And we'll see if Luke or Rangy can improve their time with this right in here. And it looks like neither one of them did with Sketty. Placing into 6th, 2.7 seconds off the qualifying time. Amato must have invalidated his first lap, as he's now on another lap and has yet to post a time. Scott's going through the Sector 1 as well. So there's 3 folks that have yet to post a time. And here comes one right here. Soler is going to be I guess said he was going to be P10, but that must have been an invalidated lap somewhere along the way. So a change at the top there. Dom Bessel now sitting in 2nd place, 3/10 off Rangy's time. And Keith Hurst now sitting in 3rd place, 5/10 off the top time. Luke Filippone moved down to 4th. Still waiting on Soler, Amato, and Scott to post a time. It looks like they're just validating laps as they go around. Amato right now with the green sector is on a valid lap. And same with Scott. It should be coming close to the end of Sector 2. I do believe. Yes. So he's now into the final stretch of his lap. Amato is going to post a time for 9th. 109.055. Scott posts for 6th there. Solid lap. 2.1 seconds off the time. Soler here. We will follow him until the end. Through the final turn, coming up to the start-finish line. See where he posts in. That is a long stretch right there. That is going to be good for 8th. So all 12 racers in the server right now have posted a time. So we'll kind of see where they shuffle from there as more folks put in more laps. With these Friday races, depending on where you jump in for practice, sometimes you use your qualifying as extra practice time. So even if you post a good time, you go out and you run as many laps as you can before the end. You see Dom there getting awful loose all the way, taking out, I have no idea who he just took out. I think Keith Hurst. Yes. So Keith Hurst and Dom there in the Sector 3 with an unavoidable contact. Here comes Rangy. Looks like he has not improved on any of the sectors on this lap. Does not improve the time. 3/10 off his fastest lap there. Go back to the auto director here. So Joe Tufts, green sector 1, so he has improved. And that was not enough off track to invalidate the lap, so he is still on a valid lap there, even though did not improve his sector 2. Coming into the final turn there, into the long stretch. We'll see where he ends up, if he can improve on his 12th position. And he will not. Actually, I think he may have. No, he did not. And with a change there within at least the top 4, Luke Filippone has jumped back into his second position where he was. Now just about 2/10 off P1. So he had just put in a quick lap there. Dom Bessel has purple into the sector 1. He's on a green sector 2. So we'll see if maybe he can change up the top 3 positions there a little bit, see where he comes in. So he's purpled sector 1 and 3, improved his time, and he is 5/100ths behind Rangy Rover for P1. Luke Filippone, 2 green sectors coming into the final turn, or not final turn, but really over the line. It improves ever so slightly. No. I think that's about right where he was right before. So that last lap must not have improved his time or his position on the leaderboard. Fialupu here. Sector 1 is purple overall, so he is the quickest through that sector. We will see what his Sector 2 looks like. Should be ending right there, so it's green, so it's a personal for him, not a session best. Into the final turn there. And we're going to see if this is a green, purple, or just a gray where he did not improve at all. So he has improved his time, but yet is still 5th on the leaderboard. And now just a little over 1 second behind P1. Jumping to Scott here. He has a personal best within Sector 1. If it sticks with him long enough, we will see what his Sector 2 is like, which is around this left corner there. And the line's about right in there, yes. So personal best for Sector 1 and 2 for Scott. Kind of cuts through the cones there a little bit, but is still on a valid lap. Comes down the long stretch. See if he can get a little bit better than 7th position where he currently is. And he improves by 1 position, so he is now up to 6th. There's a slow car. He just goes right into the back of all of it. So qualifying has now ended. So there are your results. Rangy Rover P1 with a 105.037. P2 Dom Bessel about 3.5 tenths behind. Luke Filippone sitting there in 3rd position. Keith Hurst in 4th position. Fialupu manages 5th. Scott Galbraith 6th position. Solera Stora 7th. Dan Dietering P8. Mike Loban P9. Sketty P10. Amato Pereira P11. Joe Tufts P12. So as I was saying earlier, it's going to be interesting to see who ends up P1 through P10, because those final positions will be reversed for race number 2. So now that qualifying is over, now it turns into the craziness that is the warm-up. 5 minutes of warm-up. I won't talk much during this. I'll let these guys they will find that right there. They will find some place to jump, to roll, to get some air, and we're going to see what they can do. Looks like Rangy may be going out on the full circuit there. That's not currently in use. So he is going for a little bit of a Sunday drive. Dom is just warming up his tires. And gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be sure if anyone is driving backwards or not. I think Scott might be driving backwards. You might be going reverse track at the moment. There's Rangy. I'm kind of unsure where he can. No, he has come back. Oh, so there was a mass collision. Dom might be getting some air behind all those trees. Scott is back there as well. Let's see if we can change cameras here. See where they are. So here's Scott. Keeping it neatly on the track. Fairly certain he's going backwards. So there might be a head-on collision coming here very soon. But then again, he might be on the different variation of the track. And oh no, there's one. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Lotus on Blue Lotus. That was a murder. And there was another one. So now all these folks are somewhere on this track, and I do not know where. Jump to Theo. Theo might be actually, he might be completing a lap, which is rare during these times. No, he at least made it all the way around. Rangy's now doing donuts behind the barrier, showing those race officials and stewards what a spinning Lotus looks like. I see them clapping. They are enjoying that show. Scott's doing the same thing, but kind of on accident. He's out in the kitty litter. Dan's keeping to the blacktop. Rangy is still spinning. Dom is full sending it, going extra wide there. We're coming up on just about 30 seconds left of the warm-up. Rangy's probably still spinning somewhere. Oh, he is back on the blacktop. So no times have been posted yet, which is usually what tries to happen. So there's the official end of warm-up number 1. So now there's less than a minute for these drivers to make sure they have enough fuel to potentially do any last-minute changes to their setup, hitting the drive button, getting to the grid, and then waiting for lights out, which should happen really any second here, because it looks like we're missing one from the track at the moment. Which would be, there's Rangy. We might be waiting on one more. Maybe P6, whoever that was. There they are. Lights are flashing. And lights out and away we go. So it looks like someone got a major jump off the line. Don Bessel. Got a very good jump off the line. Now sitting in P1. Training the cars behind him. Rangy Rover in second. So really the only change kind of at the top for right now. Don being out in P1. We're going to jump to the back. Motto and Dan fighting for P12 and 11. Falling in the line there. Rangy goes ever so wide there. Don Bessel, slow down. They must be using the track limits to their fullest. And it looks like it's going to be Rangy neck and neck there. May cross the line. Gets ahead of Don Bessel. Goes very wide. Potentially missing a break point. Jumping back on. Going to jump back into fourth there. He's going to have Scott. It looks almost a roll from Theo Lupu. He was on two wheels. He's sending it very hard. He's going to drop back into fifth. He comes on and just takes Scott into the wall. Scott will probably have some damage there. He's got some crinkles on the side. He's going to fall back to eighth for now. I have no doubts that he's going to be able to catch back up. So right now your top three, Don Bessel, Luke Filippone, Rangy Rover, all very close to each other. They are about now 2.5 seconds ahead of P4. So they're kind of pulling away from the backpack there. So Luke got a little too much curb there. Got a little squirrely, a little loose. Was managed to keep it though. Keep it in P2. They come through that quick chicane. Rangy with a slow down penalty. Solaire here with an off track into the wall. And it looks like Solaire has backed out of this race. We'll see if he sticks around for race number 2. Your P1, 2, and 3 all staying in line. Coming to the start-finish line. Some fairly clean racing there, clean lines. Not doing anything too crazy here in the early parts of this race. They are 1.8 seconds ahead of Theo Lupu there in P4. Jump to the dash cam of Rangy. Those three there, we're going to jump. Well, I won't jump anywhere just yet. Rangy's going to try to make a move on Luke. Goes to the outside and loses it. How much did he lose it? Not a whole lot. He must have saved it before it jumped. Because he is still managing to be only half a second behind Luke. I was going to jump to Mike Lobin. He was about 3/10 behind Scott Galbraith. Now sitting about 8/10 behind him. Dan Dietering there, about a second behind Amato Pereira. And positions 8, 9, and 10 are, sitting in the catbird seat for race number 2. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the back positions as well to see who's going to be up in P1 and in the front of race number 2. Jump back to Rangy here once again. Trying to make some moves on Luke. Trying to look outside, inside. also while trying not to lose it. Luke goes a little bit wide there. Rangy is able to really kind of just sweep in there, take second position. Theo is trying to make some time back for P4. He's now down to 1.2 seconds behind P3. And then there's about a 3-second gap for Theo back to P5. We'll let the software auto-direct here, but I'm fairly certain it's going to stick on these three, at least for the time being. The stewards have given Mike Loban a slowdown penalty, so that's going to widen the gap between himself and Scott in P6. Here comes Rangy on the outside of Dom, trying to put the hammer down in the latter part of that corner. Coming down the straight. And he's looking all over the place to see if he can pass Dom somewhere. Dom's trying to make that Lotus as wide as possible. There's a lockup from Dom, which then causes Rangy to lock up in that corner there. I think I just saw a flash up for Theo Lupu getting a slowdown penalty. There he goes. To the dash cam. Rangy's going to try it. Going to the outside. We're trying to keep as much speed as possible. Going to get right to the back bumper of Dom there. Maybe try to slip to the left or to the right here eventually and get by. We'll see. Feels like right through that area, Rangy can get more speed around the corner and get up to Dom, but then Dom still manages to pull away. So without missing too much action from those two, let's jump back. Keith Hurst is now under a second in P5 to Theo Lupu. So he is making his way forward. About 3.4 seconds behind Keith Hurst. You got Scott Galbraith, who's now in P6. You got P7, Mike Loban. He is 5.5 seconds behind Scott Galbraith there in P6. And then P8, you have Amato. 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds behind P7 there. Dan Dietering is just a little over 1 second behind Amato, so he's trying to keep it close. And then positions 10 and 11, Sketty and Joe Tufts are lagging behind a little bit. I'm not sure if just either spins or contacts or whatnot has pushed him that far. But as I said, if Sketty manages to keep P10 here, he'll be P1 for race number 2. And it looks like I knew it was going to happen. I missed something by just going through the field, and Dom has either had an off-track, an incident, or something happened where he is now slid from P1 to P3. Rangy's gotten by him. Luke's gotten by him. So unfortunately, I'm not sure what has happened, but something has happened. And as of right now, he is the closest to the next position on track. He's now done under half a second. And Scott here has worked his way. I think he was what? About over 3 seconds behind Keith Hurst. And is now down under 2 seconds. So he is trying to claw his way back from his earlier run-in with Theo. Coming back on track and getting together with Scott. Keith Hurst was under a second, so it looks like Keith and Scott took the same line, missing the break points, and has at least slowed down Keith more than it has Scott. It looks like Keith has missed a little bit there, took a lot of curb there, as did Scott. Scott's now under a second to Keith Hurst. Keith Hurst getting very, very slippery in the back end. We will stick right here for right now. Let's jump to Scott's point of view. Let's see if we can get on. There we go. We can watch this from the dash cam, or even that's the full-on cockpit. Turning on the wheel. Got the Sparko wheel. He's got his stickers on there for the buttons. Looks great. These two have caught fairly up to Theo Lupu. And both of them are now within 1 second of Theo. Go to the roof cam for right now on Scott. That way you can kind of see what Theo and Keith are up to. Scott here behind them. Follow them for just a little bit, and we'll jump back up to the P2, P3 battle. Keith has lost it, as well as Scott. So both of them, got very loose through there. Keith has gotten going again. Scott has gotten ahead of Keith. So that was not really the intention of what Scott or Keith wanted to do. Scott has picked up a position from that. That has put Scott 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds back from Theo in P4. Keith Hurst is now about 2.2 seconds behind Scott here in P5. So everyone has kind of spaced themselves out. We're going to jump up to Dom, who's getting very close to Luke Filippone once again. We will get a camera angle where we can see all of it. Right on the back bumper of Luke. Yeah, we'll get the hood cam. I think that's the hood cam. Should be. Yeah. Either way, it's a great angle for what's happening here. Rangy has a commanding 4-second lead in P1. Just a little over 5 minutes to go. Their lap times have been about the front runners here are running about 105, low 105, low 106. So we'll probably see 3-4 laps max on the left. Looks like Luke's getting a little loose there in the back, getting around the corner. Dom's getting a slowdown penalty, unless that's late. He's already served it. Getting through the chicane. Maybe the braking of Luke threw him off there just a little bit. Let's do real time, along with the standings board, but you've also now got the real time of how close Dom is getting to Luke. Dom taking an extra large amount of grass there on the inside of the turn. Gets a slowdown penalty because of it. Is now serving it, as you see Luke kind of pulling away. The time is now over a second from Luke to Dom. Keith Hurst is getting slowdown penalties as he's continuing to abuse track limits per race room, not per me. Theo here about over 7 seconds back. So Dom has had some issues here as he's was about 0.3 of a second behind Luke and is now up over 4 seconds behind. So just from the timing screen, Rangy sitting out in P1 has over a 6-second lead back to P2. P2, Luke Filippone, he has a 4-second advantage to Dom Bessel behind him. From Dom, there's about a 7-second gap to Theo Lupu. 5 seconds back from Theo Lupu, Scott Galbraith. It looks like, let's see, Keith Hurst sitting in 6th. He's about 3 seconds behind. It looks like Dan is out of the race. Joe Tufts here, sitting at 10th. He will end up at 10th. So that will be your P1 for race number 2. And I think he's been lapped, or he's 42 seconds behind P9. I don't think he's been lapped yet. He may be very, very close. Mike Lubin here. Let's compare the next car. He is 9.5 seconds behind Keith Hurst here in P7. P8, Amato. Luke Filippone is going to let Dom Bessel, well, not let, but Dom Bessel will get by as Luke spun there in the final turn. Got into the wall. Had to reverse. And finally get back on the track and get going. So that now puts him almost 1.5 seconds behind Dom. So there are very wide gaps all around, except for this battle right here. So due to Luke's spin into the wall, it's allowed Dom to get by. But now Luke is keeping it interesting behind Dom and is now about 0.5 second behind for P2. Rangy has crossed the start-finish line, so this will be the last lap, lap 19. So everyone coming across will have one more lap. So this will give Luke one last opportunity here to try to get P2 back from Dom Bessel. And as you can see, he is getting very close to it. A slight touch in the back. Both of them take the inside curve. So Luke gets a slowdown penalty from that. I'm not sure if Dom got one as well. Rangy's going to be coming up on the final stretch here very shortly. We'll jump to him, watch him come across the line as the race winner. P2 and 3 going right through the same area that Rangy just was. Here comes Rangy across the line. 19 laps complete. He is your winner of race 1. Let's jump back this here into the final stretch. Luke is right on the back of Dom Bessel. Takes it to the outside, tries to get it. Will he get it? Oh, that's a photo finish that the game must have given that to Dom. But that would have to be a replay. Theo. Yes, Theo has crossed the line and has crashed into the wall. Scott has crossed the line and is finished. Keith Hurst has come by. Here comes Michael Oben. P7, he is going to cross the line to finish race number 1 with Sketty and Amato coming in behind him for 8 and 9. So Luke Filippone, according to the results, had a 30-second penalty, which will push him down to P6. So that must mean that he had to slow down somewhere there in the final stretch that he did not serve or did not slow down enough for, and was ultimately given a penalty, adding 30 seconds to his time, pushing him from P3 to P6. So your final results here for race number 1. Rangy Rover P1, fast lap of 1:04.739. Dom Bessel P2, Theolupu P3. And as it sometimes does, the server has kicked me out, so give me one moment. We will jump back in for what will be the second warm-up and the second race for this evening. And so, here we are back in for warm-up number 2. Another 5-minute warm-up before race number 2. We'll let the software just auto-direct. It'll catch whoever goes out, whoever might be doing whatever they might be doing. Trying to jump, trying to roll. Just taking a few laps around the course. There goes a roll from, who might that have been? Scott Galbraith. Successfully rolling his car numerous times and looking good while doing it. So Scott and Dom are the only two for right now to be out on the track. Scott has gone back to the pit, obviously because of damage. So as these minutes count down here for race number 2, I'm going to step away and I will be back for race number 2. Alright everyone, so this here is going to be race number 2 of the evening, and as I said, it's going to be reverse top 10 grid. So the folks that started in the folks that finished in the back of race number 2 will now be up on the starting position, P1, P2, P3, and so forth. So we're going to see some interesting things here from the folks in P10. Rangy will now be in P10 as he finished in P1 for race number 1. So here go the lights. They're about to go out. They're about to take off. Let's go auto director. It's going to be in Mike Lobin for right now. And away they go. So this is going to be interesting where everyone kind of is at the moment. Luke Filippone already up into P4 around the outside. Solera, Stora, Sketty, Amato Pereira, they're in P1 through 3. Luke Filippone finished 6th, so probably started 5th, maybe. See Dom Bessel back here, already fighting with Scott Galbraith. And looks like he has him to the inside. Theo Lupu back here in 9th with Rangy like a rocket behind him. And we will have to watch how Rangy picks his way through this field, if able. So he's door to door there with Theo down the stretch. They might go 3 wide with Keith Hurst, who's now dropped to P10. Dom is on the back of Mike Lobin. Scott on the back of Dom. And something has happened where Keith Hurst was behind. He was in P10. He's now in P9 ahead of Rangy. Rangy's still side by side. Will probably take the inside line. Will probably get it. And he will. Keith Hurst went a little wide there. Theo here is trying to catch up to Luke Filippone. We're going to jump up to the front, guys. So Sketty and Solaire have created a like a 1.5 second to P3. If these two here can keep doing what they're doing and pulling away from the pack behind them, then without any major problems, you might see them still P1, P2 at the end of this race. Back into the mid-pack. Dom Bessel getting to the back bumper of Mike Lobin. Luke Filippone has another slowdown penalty. As he is continuing to use the track lines per Raceroom. Dom is trying everything he can to get by Mike. And they make a little contact, make a little more contact. Rubbing is racing, as they say, as they come down the stretch. Dom slides behind Mike there. Now jumps out. I'm not sure if Mike hit the brake really hard or if Dom just jumped out. That is a mess up Dom where he goes off track, comes back on. Rangy was P10 there just for a little bit. Is now up to P7 and a traffic jam and hits. And looks like Luke, Rangy, getting to Scott there just a little bit. And a tight turn. Rangy goes side by side with Scott. Down the turn, still side by side. Still door to door. Nobody wants to. Even though these are unranked, fun races, everybody's racing for P1. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to do well. So, Theolupu, your P8, keeping close to Rangy. Scott, Luke's keeping close to Theo. Here goes Rangy. Doing everything he can to get by Scott there. We're going to jump back up here to the front, where Sketty is now 1.1 second behind Solaire Astora, who's sitting in P1. He's doing everything that he can to stay clean and to stay well ahead of everyone behind him. See Scott has put on the compare where you can see how close these folks are getting to each other. Scott's about 3/10 behind Mike Loman. He's going to try it. Something's happened with Rangy again, where now Rangy's back down in 9th position. Maybe had a run in with someone. Keith Hurst is up to 8th, about 1.5 seconds behind Theo. Luke Filippone is had a major off somewhere where he is now 8 seconds behind. Catch up to Don Bessel. He is now to the back of Otto. Jumps to the inside, late braking. It makes a successful pass. Theolupu trying to get by Mike Loban here. Through that turn at high speeds. Rangy there, going a little bit wide behind Keith Hurst. Jump up to Scott here. Scott's trying to make a move on Amato. We'll see if he can get him somewhere. Goes to the inside. There is contact. Amato has to go a little bit wide. Scott has to slow down. Which then brings Mike back into the picture with Scott. Stays ahead of Mike. Scott gets to slow down from somewhere. There's Mike Loban. Maybe with a little bit of an aggressive pass. Attention there from Keith Hurst. Looked like he went in awful fast there. Keith gets off. Back on slow down penalty. Theo about 3/10 behind Rangy and Mike Loban. About 2/10 behind Theo here. Sketty has caught back up to Solaire. Is now at half a second for P1 and P2. Here's Scott once again. 3/10 behind Amato. Going where he can. Amato is out in the grass. It's going to allow Scott to get by there in that turn. Hits the chicane. Keeps on going. Keith Hurst here on the back of Amato. We'll stick with him for a bit. We'll go inside. See how he does from here. Gets to the back. He's trying the inside. Amato may have lifted off. Keith shoots by there. So Theo may have had off or an issue somewhere along the way. as he is now about 5 seconds behind Rangy. That's the camera that I want. Here's Sketty. 4/10 off P1. Through the final turn. Into the front stretch. Sketty is making it close. Doing everything he can to get by. Under 3/10 of a second. Through the corner there. Vessel here in P3. I'm trying to get my cameras and how they should be. Good on the side of Dom here. Reflections look amazing. To the roof, to the back, to the wing, inside. See if Sketty can get in here. So you see you had to brake there. Around the turn. Big braking point here. It's just that quick hairpin right into a chicane. Sketty got like a little bit loose through there. Lost the back end just ever so slightly, which then causes him to lose time. Let's see if he can get it back. Mike Loban there, getting by Amato. Looks like Amato got a little bit loose, a little bit wide. Allowed Mike to slip by there on the inside. Rangy on Amato. Gets by Amato. Through that, I call it a hairpin. It may not be quite a hairpin, but through that, through the chicane, offward he goes. See Dom Bessel's making it very close on Sketty here for P3, P2. So now P1 through P3 are all very close. We'll go inside Dom's car here. We'll actually go to the dash like that. Dom's gonna try the inside. Manages to keep it. Sketty's still there. So he didn't clear it just yet. Up to the baby hairpin and chicane. Dom's gonna late brake, try the inside. Doesn't work. Cuts out a lot of the curve with chicane. Sketty has it off track and a slowdown. Dom's gonna slide up in a second. Rangy's back here on Mike Loban, trying to get by. Let's also to the dash cam on Rangy's car. Let's see if he late. necessarily late brakes, but uses less of a brake than what Mike was there, and has gotten in front of Mike. Successful pass. Scott Galbraith. Him comes up on Sketty. Hard on the brakes. Goes a little bit more through the turn than what he wanted. Coming up to the baby hairpin chicane. And downward. Gets a slowdown from that. So the track limits might be awful tight through that chicane for what you can and can't do. Sketty keeping it close. Dom Bessel, who in turn is keeping it close on Solaire P1. We are now down under 5 minutes to go. Should see probably 3 laps, 4 at the most from here. Looks like Theo Lupu has and Luke have not finished. It'll be a DNF race number 2. So now, P1 through 4 are, I won't say fairly close, but are close enough here at the end for something to happen. Any little slip up from these 4 here can alter the top 4 positions. Scott taking out the sticks. Come around the turn. We're going to jump to Dom for just a second as he is getting very close. Let's see if Dom tries a late break. He does not. Goes to the chicane here on the backstretch. It's a little further out than what Solaire did, but they have created a 2-second gap back to Scott in P3. Keith Hurst here about 1.8 seconds behind Scott. P3. Mike Logan's trying to catch up to Sketty, who has fallen back within this race. Started P2, was P2 for quite a while. So now he is down to P6. Here goes Dom Bessel. Potential lead change somewhere in this lap. Brakes heavy, no contact, does get a slowdown. May have taken too much of the chicane on the inside. See how much time that gives back. Just now up to half a second behind. Here in 5th place. Jump back up to Scott. Scott has got, so my apologies again, Solaire must have had just an off, as Dom has gotten by for P1, Scott has gotten by for P2. Solaire is now down to P3 and has about a half a second gap on Keith Hurst in P4. Remove Keith here, just to see what may happen. With Dom coming to the line here very soon. Right now, I believe. Not yet. He may cross the line. This might be the last lap right here. His time will go before Dom crosses. This should be the end of the race as you see it. It is. Dom Bessel P1, Scott Galbraith P2, Solaire Astora held on to P4, or P3, I'm sorry. Keith Hurst comes in at P4, Rangy Rover P5. Sketty starts P2, drops down to P6, but finishes just ahead of Michael Oben at P7. Amato Pereira comes in at P8 with 2 DNFs. Well, scratch that. 4 DNFs. I don't think Dan Dietering or Joe Tufts actually started the race at all. So there are a total of 4 DNFs, 2 during the race, 2 before the race. And there are your final results for race number 2. Dom Bessel P1, Scott Galbraith P2, Solaire Astora P3 for your podium positions. Keith Hurst P4, Ranger Rover P5. Ranger Rover with also the fastest lap again for race 1 and race 2 into the 104s. And with that, folks, if you watched along with this live, if you watch along later, thank you for watching. Make sure you make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you like what you see here, if you like what we're doing, the Discord community can be found. There will be a link within this video that will take you to it to join up. Just to reiterate, we have races, seems like every day there's a race. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. All that information is available within Discord. Those races allow for any skill level, any knowledge of racing. Jump in, have fun. We're all here to have fun. We're all here to keep getting better, keep learning, keep going from there. So make sure to check us out. Check out more videos on this channel for past races. With that, everyone have a good rest of the evening. Have a good weekend. We will be back tomorrow with another live race, more commentary. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Maybe I'll be better at it. Maybe I'll be worse. You never know. So keep an eye out for that. There will be a stream schedule going up probably this evening for that information. So keep an eye out. Keep racing. Keep having fun. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay everything. So have a good evening. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.